Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads from the Trails. It is time for a book review. Evan Tanner, number 8, Tanner on Ice, published in 1998. This is going to be a different kind of book review. Not only the setting, but I was really disappointed in this book. I'm just going to flat out say it. I was really wanting Tanner to go out with a bang. This is the last book in the series. The series was started in the mid-60s. This book was published in 1998. The previous book, book 7, was 12 years earlier. Book 7 to 6 was a 12-year gap. And so I really feel like the whole premise of this story block was trying to push the character to the present. Yeah, and it's just a really out there premise. Yeah. As much as I disliked book 7, and you can go check out my review for that if you're interested, but this one I was just wanting to know what was going to happen with Tanner, how it was going to sunset. And it's just, yeah. I would have DNF'd this book, honestly, but I wanted to see how it ended, and I was really disappointed. And the whole premise of this story is just really bizarre. I got to be honest with you. I can't say that I was really invested in it. It was one of those books I read just to see the ending, and I was kind of, angry reading it because I was so disinterested and so angry about it. But he gets slipped a Mickey in the beginning. He's overseas, and the next thing you know, he's put on ice. He's cryogenically frozen in some manner of speaking back then. We're talking the 60s, late 60s, and he goes and basically wakes up and Bill Clinton's the president. So it's late 90s. And he ends up in a roundabout way being made contact with after he goes back home and realizes that Mina, this girl, his illegitimate daughter that he brought over from the overseas, and she was the heir to the Lithuania country, and she's been basically keeping house and cashing checks and everything else and acting like nothing's wrong just to keep the house and keep herself afloat. And she's went to school and done some things, and yeah. And so that's going on. Tanner makes contact with the chief, gets put on a mission to go out east on a mission, and I honestly didn't even care because it was so out there. I was like, really, this is what book 8's going to be like? Yeah, disappointed to say the least. So I basically kept reading. I would have DNF'd this book, honestly, but I wanted to see how it was going to end. I wanted to see how Block was going to sunset Tanner. And I pushed through. It's not a huge book to begin with, but I pushed through, kept reading pages because I wanted to get to the end. There wasn't the humor or at least the humor wasn't hitting like it normally does for me. And then the next thing you know, the ending comes. He meets with the chief, and the next thing you know, that's it. There's no kind of, here's what's going to be happening, here's how it's going to go. It's kind of like he's going to go back and work on, a thesis for someone. He's been spending time kind of on the computer, getting caught up on the world events. And a lot of the clubs that he was in, have dissolved because, the flat earth and all of this, as we've advanced as a civilization. But he's been catching up on things online, reading. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. I mean, I can't be more disappointed, honestly. A 2.9 is what I give this thing. I feel like I'm pulling a block here and cashing this whole book review in, sort of like he cashed the book in, but I'm disappointed. He was such an interesting character. I think the first 4 or 5 books are really worth your time. They're bizarre. They're a little out there. You're going to have some questionable things, but there's humor. And then just the whole thing with him not sleeping, and especially in the 60s when he's in all these clubs, and he's going and doing these missions, but he's not even a part of any of these government agencies, but he just goes along because they'll pay him, and it sounds like fun, like, I don't know. Disappointed. I didn't really want that series to end that way, but yeah, that's the way it ended. So that's my review. Evan Tanner, number 8, Tanner on Ice, 2.9 by Lawrence Block, published in 1998. Big letdown, honestly. So that's a review. Hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you later.